Being 10 years in the business now, I really enjoy the mentorship process.
Mentoring, advocating for yourself, and negotiation were some of many topics. Whether it was the power panel hosted by the Milton Chamber of Commerce or the keynote speaker featured by the Halton Hills Chamber. One of the things Christine Leadbetter-Gold spoke of is different kinds of relationships that can be helpful, bridging and bonding. Bonding is formed with people who hold similar roles and work in similar industries, while bridging is about building connections outside of what's already familiar.
Social capital brings resources. Again, it brings connections, it brings opportunities. So it's a very strategic resource. It helps to connect you. Again, it helps to level you up and grow you much quicker than if, you're left all to your own devices trying to build your brand, grow your company.
What's important is to really leverage our connections and people that we know, because I think as entrepreneurs sometimes we feel we're confident about the fact that we can do everything. But at the end of the day, leveraging those relationships is most important.
International Women's Day was also the occasion for the Canadian Chamber of Commerce to release a report entitled Barely Breaking Ground, the slow stride of progress for women in business leadership and entrepreneurship. Among the details from 2023, at just over 35%, Canada's share of women in managerial roles is behind almost half of all OECD countries. In senior management, it's only 30%, and in the boardroom, the numbers plummet to 21% of directors and 24% of top officer positions being held by women. And pay equity is still a fight as well, with women earning only 88 cents on the dollar.
It's shocking to see that our population share is 50% and higher, but we're still not being represented in business ownership, in business leadership, and more importantly in the boardrooms of our bigger companies in the country. So it just tells me we've got a lot of work to do, but that we still keep having to beat the drum and telling people that women deserve a seat at the table as well.
As the demographics of Halton Hills and Milton change and both communities become more culturally diverse, for some, particularly people of color, there may be an added layer of challenges, in addition to those faced being a woman and being an entrepreneur.
I do believe at every level there are some set of challenges, but at the same time I always go back to the fact that if you're surrounded by the right amount of people that have your best interest, and we move forward positively, and I think also one thing that's really underrated is probably being aware. I think awareness is a really important aspect which kind of helps you move in a direction where you're able to make an informed decision.
As that sense of direction develops for each person, Leadbetter-Gold shared the importance of goal setting. Write down what you want.
If you don't know where you're heading, you're not going to get there, right? So goal setting is really important. Don't expect it's going to happen in 3 months, in 1 year, 5 years. Like, it could be longer than that, but starting to write down what you think that you want, it's amazing how those doors start to open and those opportunities come your way, but it won't happen without the work.
Jason Trout for Halton News in North Halton.